taking time out of your day to watch little old me watching the game. We are watching the game. Quick little moment over here. Here, we'll scan this back over. But yeah, we got the game on, hanging out, living our best lives. And yeah, let's talk some football, watch the game. Figured, why not do this? Why not have some fun moments like this, right? Um, but yeah, uh, it's the start of the second half. First half was pretty solid. It was really lopsided. Raiders basically is what it was. It was Raiders or bust. What's going on? Why not, Ben? Appreciate you being here. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Um, why not? Yes, exactly. Why not? Figured I'm watching the game. Figured why not? Why not go live? Why not have some fun? See how many people kind of trickle in here and have some fun conversations, have some good times, watch the game, do some play-by-play, stuff like that, all of that jazz. The good old stuff. Um, but yeah, got the game on. What else we got here? Uh, Curious to see how the Raiders are going to do this year. Given that it's crazy that they're the the fourth with Derek Carr as your starting quarterback. He's the fourth best quarterback in your division. That's something that I think is really interesting in and of itself. But you know, it's how it goes, right? Them the breaks. But curious to see how many games they win, how well they do, stuff like that. So that'll be pretty interesting. See if I can set this down like that. Oh, that's not working. Let me raise this up. Internet. There we go. Perfect. But yeah, what about Big Ben? uh, I'm curious to see how the uh, Steelers. Sorry, trying to multitask. I'm curious to see how the Steelers are going to do this year. Um, I'm a little concerned with the QB situation, but I do think that they have a solid team. I think they definitely have a solid chance to put some work in. Put some work in. See if Jacksonville can make this a game here a little bit. That'd be nice. Make it a little game. But good run, good start. It's a good start. Not too shabby. They got to protect the ball too. Man, these guys have not been able to hold on to the ball. Have not been able to take care of the ball the first half. It's been a bit of a mess. Um, so hopefully we see some people hold on to the ball. Um, it's Hall of Fame. I would love to go to the Hall of Fame and just check it out. I gotta do that. That's gotta be something I do one day. Leave them alone. That's right. Leave them alone. I do think they have a chance to win the division. Like the Steelers, I can see them doing it, especially with all the Deshaun Watson just mess that's going on. I don't feel sorry for the Browns. They knew what was coming. They knew what was happening. They did that to themselves. So I don't feel sorry for them when it comes to that. But um, this should be good. Oh, oh. Can you make a football team? He's got a pretty good delivery. Is that Slogan or whatever his name is? However you say his name? Slogan. Dang. That's gotta be one of the best jobs ever though. To be a quarterback, yeah, you never throw a pass in an NFL game, like a live game, but you're still making like 3 million a year as you're the third string quarterback, just kind of hanging out. You got a front row view to every game. like, I don't what would be better than that? I would do that. If any team wants to give me a chance to just be the third or fourth backup and just sit there and I'll do that. I'd do that for free. What do you think is going to be the top team this season coming up? Um, I really think the Bills are going to be the number one team. I really think like I think this year is the best chance out of any year for them to make it. Um, my like kind of like sleeper. I don't think they're a contender, but I think to kind of on the rise make the playoffs this year at least is the Chargers. I think the Chargers will at the very least make the playoffs. I think at the very least. So if you're talking, let me mute it while it's commercial because that's how I got in trouble last time. But yeah, I think the Chargers very likely will be the that like sleeper team that ends up making the playoffs and could make some noise. I think they sewed up a lot of like their issues. I think they're a really good playoff team. I want to throw before the season begins. I want to throw some money on them to win the Super Bowl out of the conference, but I don't think they win the Super Bowl. They're just like 15-1. So if they just at least make the playoffs, then I'd win money no matter what. So that's kind of my thinking. I'm going to a Steelers Dolphins game. That's awesome. That should be fun. That should be fun. I need to get to a couple Raiders games, just because I live in Vegas, and now that like I have a YouTube channel that like uh, is sports, I might as well go check out the games and stuff, right? And live stream from the games and just like hang out and stuff. I think it'd be cool. So definitely go that route. I'll probably catch a couple games this year with that, and then yeah, Bills I think are really good. I mean, it wasn't for overtime, right? They might, who knows what they would have done last year, and I just think that they made some subtle improvements. I think that they'll bounce back a little bit, and I think they'll make some noise. Like outside of that, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of teams that wouldn't like surprise me. Like I still think the Bengals are really good. I think the Steelers have a solid chance. I think they had a solid chance regardless, but I still don't think the Cowboys do anything this year. I still don't think the Broncos are kind of a question mark to me because it's like I think they could be good, but I don't know if Russell Wilson is that quarterback anymore that can carry a team on his back, and that's my thing. And this team is very young. There's a lot of questions with them, but I mean it wouldn't shock me. Like if they're really good, it wouldn't shock me. That's kind of my logic with that. But there we go. Let me turn the sound back on. Game time. These Raiders have just been running it down the Jags' throats all game long. Literally all game long. Leroy Butler. You want to hear Cowboys, I think of Stephen A. trolling. Yeah, right? Seriously. It is. It's hilarious. Like, it's just, yeah. I don't know. Like, they're one of those teams where it's like every year, they're in like arguably the weakest division. Every year, it's like their year and they're going to be good and they just aren't. Ooh. It's just, yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things like, until you prove it to me, I don't believe that you're going to be able to do anything. Only NFL player with 3+ sacks and 3 interceptions in 3 straight seasons. Leroy Butler. Mama, there goes that man. Ooh, good sack. Good sack. Nah, now look at him. Now he's in the Hall of Fame. All-time great. This guy. That's the biggest, like, F you there is, right? Like, look at where I am. Peeps just lurking. Hello, I know. That's how it goes. I've actually found that a lot, like, with the sports channel, because, like, you're part of, like, the Fate Decided channel and stuff. Like, like I'll get like obviously this I've never done this stream, so I don't expect like a bunch of people to be in this stream. I kind of expect it to be like 10 to 20 people at most throughout, just randomly coming in and out. Um, but like even when I do, like I've had live streams, like I had a live stream where I had like 5,000 people in it on this channel, and like the engagement wasn't as I was like, oh man, how am I going to keep up with everything? And it wasn't anything close to what it was like even with Fate Decided when I have like 50 people in the stream. Like it's just the engagement as far as like chats aren't as high with this, um, which I guess is okay, right? I mean, it puts more pressure on me to be more like engaging or like more finding stuff to talk about rather than naturally just finding stuff. But it doesn't matter either way. Like I said, I'm just handing out. I'm handing out regardless, just watching the game. So I was like, why not stream? Why not stream it? We need Kyrie Irving, please. I'm with you. I'm with you, Mr. 81. I got a video uh, update on the KD Kyrie situation. Um, I'll post it after this live stream. I have it done. It's ready to go. I just scheduled it for after the stream, so we will get that soon. And then I want to do like a Kyrie one on the Lakers channel. So I guess it'll kind of be a double dip, but they will be different videos. Like one is more just like information driven. One's gonna be more of like, here's what I got going on type thing. Um, I make videos too. That's awesome. I'll have to when I get some time. I'll go check out your channel. Check out some of the videos. That's great. I think everyone should make videos and stuff. Like I think everyone should have a YouTube channel. It's fun. Ooh, good catch. Ooh. Um, yeah, the game is still going on. It's 20-0 Raiders. 9 minutes in the third. It's just starting the second half. Um, so just handing out, watching the game. Figured why not do a live stream? Talk to all you beautiful people. Sure, there's other people watching the game, so why not? Why not have some talks about it? Um, I just want Jacksonville to kind of make this interesting. Like like right now it's been kind of like a bit of a snooze fest game. Like that. That was terrible. Like I want some drive, some like let's make it interesting. Let's make it like make this a close game going into the fourth. You know, put some pressure on some of these second and third string units. Come on, go get the first down. Make it happen. And look at bum. Get rid of the ball. Look at you, bum. Jacksonville can't move the ball to save their lives. Jacksonville's probably going to be terrible. I can't watch anything. My TV broke. Oh, that sucks. That's the worst. That's the worst. Turns on and off randomly. You sure it's not like a setting? Because I know like my TV in my living room like did that not too long ago, and I was like, what is going on? And apparently, it was like a setting. Um, it's like it has like a thing where it's like like if after like 10 minutes of like no use, it'll just like turn off, and then if like you like touch a button or something, it'll turn back on. Just a thought. I just want Jacksonville to make this interesting. I just want them to like give me a good positioning, nice. But hopefully it's a good season. Nonetheless, whatever ends up happening with the season, I hope it's a good season. I hope we get a season that's like entertaining and fun. I literally use the TV to watch YouTube anyway. Okay, so it's not a big deal. It's not it's not that much of a difference. Yeah, I just yeah, but I do. I hope this season, worst case scenario, I hope we just have like a really good season. There's a lot of like really solid teams. Who you got in the Super Bowl this year? So like as far as like I haven't made the bet yet, but I'm going to. I'll probably make them next week or like as we get closer. I just want to make sure nothing happens. No one significant gets hurt or anything before the season starts. The team that I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. Let me make that clear for those that are watching or watch this on the replay or anything. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but their odds are so good. I just need them to make the playoffs, and that team is the Chargers. So I'm going to make a bet on the Chargers to come out of the conference and win the Super Bowl, because all they have to do is make the playoffs, and as long as they make the playoffs, I'm good. Like all they have to do is make that, because they're like 15-1 odds, so I could just hedge the rest of the playoffs, and I'll make some money. So that is one of my bets. But the teams that I think most likely meet and play in the Super Bowl, I'm going with the Bills, and I kind of want to take the Bucks again. So a couple years ago when Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, I got them at like 30-1 odds, because it was before Tom Brady signed. Because like when Tom Brady basically said he was going to a different team, like I looked at all the teams and I was like, the only team he could go to and be a contender, like realistically, is the Bucks. So I was like, he's gonna go to the Bucks. So I made a bet, which it kind of was a risk because I would have been out that money if he didn't, but it just made the most sense for him to go there. And so I took the Bucks. I got the Bucks at like 30-1 to win the Super Bowl, and I got them at 20-1 to win the conference, to just make it to the Super Bowl. And so that was awesome. But I'm going to go with the Bills this season as far as like the teams that I think make it and come out. The Bills, I kind of want to take the Bucks. I just think Tom Brady has enough offensive weapons, and it just seems like something that Tom Brady would do, right? Retire. You got all this drama going on. The Dolphins get fined, this, that, and the other, and then Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl. It just seems like a year that Tom Brady would win, you know? So that's kind of my thinking, but you use a MacBook to edit your videos, or a PC. I have a PC. I have a computer, like a little setup that like in my office that I edit and do all my videos and my live streams. I'm doing this live stream right now from my phone, just because I'm just relaxing watching the game. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. I'm just hanging out with you guys, talking football, watching the game. But usually, like when you see me on the live stream and stuff, it's from my computer. What about the Cardinals? I love the Cardinals, but here's my problem with the Cardinals is that like every year they like start the year like 9-0 or like 9-1, and then they just fall apart at the end. Like, and it's one of those things like I can't believe in you until you give me an opportunity to. You know what I mean? It's like the Clippers. Like I was talking about the Clippers in one of my live streams earlier on my Lakers channel, and I was saying like to me the Clippers have the best team on paper in the NFL, in the NBA. I think that they have the best team. Problem is the Clippers every year it's like this is their year. This is the year they're going to win the Super Bowl. This is the year. I'm getting football about. This is the year they're going to win the championship. And then every year they're a second round exit. And that's kind of how I feel about the Cardinals. It's like every year, it's like you look at their roster and it's like, man, this roster is insane. Like they have everything you need to win a Super Bowl. But they just seem to beat themselves every year. And it's like I can't bet on a team that just keeps underperforming. Like I would love to see it. I'd love to take them. I really like the roster. I really think they're very talented. But it's one of those things. Dolphins got hit hard and didn't even seal the deal on Brady and Sean Payton. That's like, dude, I don't know if you saw my videos, but I was talking about it. I'm trying to get like an NFL audience up. I know there's not a bunch of you in here right now, but if you're not subscribed for any reason, please subscribe. I'm starting to talk more NFL, and I really want to like start building an NFL audience. I just recently like grew the channel. Like I got 4,000 subs last month, but it was on the back of the NBA because that's really all there was at that time. But now I want to start like, I want to talk football. I want to be able to talk various things. So if you're not subscribed, and especially if you're a football fan, or you just like sports in general, subscribe to the channel, help me out. But that being said, I don't know if you, I don't know if you saw those videos, but that was like my whole point that I was laughing about. I was like, usually when you get a tampering fine and you end up getting like in trouble for the tampering fine, usually you get the player that you want. And so it's like, who cares? It's like, if they would have gotten Tom Brady, it's like Tom Brady's worth a first and a third. So who cares? But they didn't get the player and they didn't get the coach and they still got fined. Like that's it's about as it's about as ironic and terrible of a situation as it gets. They didn't get their player and they just it is. I think it's funny. Maybe because I'm not a Dolphins fan, but I think it's funny. Lakers bubble championship is a championship, and a championship don't matter. Absolutely. I'm 100% with you. It's one of those things like, people like to discredit championships. A championship is a championship. It doesn't matter. Like, was everyone on an even playing field? Oh yeah, they were. Then there's nothing to talk about. They won a championship. It's not like the Lakers got an extra, week off, or like, they rigged the rules for them or something. Like, no, they actually prolonged it so other teams and other players could actually, could get their players together. So that way it'd be a more competitive bubble. Like, so like if anything, Lakers had an unfair advantage. There's a first down. Come on, I just want Jacksonville to make this interesting. Like, just make it a competitive game. I know it's preseason, but still. If the Dolphins somehow pulled that off, do you think they'd be favorites right now in the AFC? Personally, no. I just think there's too many good teams. And Dolphins are nice. They got a pretty good defense. They got some weapons, and Tyreek Hill now, and Waddle, and I like them. But I don't think they're good enough. I mean, you can't rule out Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady's won more with less. But I just think that the AFC this year is just, it's so tough and so competitive. There's so many good teams. It's going to be a war is my thing. And I don't personally, I wouldn't bet against them, because every time you bet against Tom Brady, you lose more than you win, but still, they mad because no other team did not trade for it. Exactly. Look, if any other team won that championship, nobody would have said anything. Nobody would have cared. It would have been another day at the office. It would have been the best championship. Most championships have asterisks. Like the Raptors. Like, if Golden State's entire team didn't fall apart, what would have happened? Would the Raptors have won a championship? No. Like, if Karl Malone didn't get hurt back in 2004, would the Lakers have lost that championship? When Karl Malone was arguably the best player going into the playoff. Like, all of that stuff, It's just those things. The NHL was the only sport that did the bubble right, in my opinion. I mean, I thought the NFL, the NBA did a great job given the circumstances. And they were the first to navigate it, figure it out. I thought they did a really good job. Like, I can't really knock them for it. AFC is a gauntlet? Absolutely. It really is. Like, the AFC is going to be crazy. I cannot wait for the AFC playoffs. Like, those games should be really great games. Like, I expect a lot of, like, all, if not most of those games to just go down to the wire. I think that's how it's going to go. I think all those games it's going to be a division where, a conference where whoever has the ball last is going to win the game. Like, there's just so many. Who's your second favorite NBA team? I mean, that's tough because, I never really think about that kind of thing. It's like Lakers. I mean, from an NBA, historian standpoint, as somebody that's, a student of the game and, love the game, I'd probably say the Celtics. But as a Lakers fan, I absolutely despise the Celtics because, I grew up in the 90s, 90s kid. You hate the Celtics. That's how it works. Right? But, from, just an NBA fan and just, student of the sport, somebody that loves the game of basketball, yeah, that's something else. But I don't know. I like to root, when I'm not rooting for the Lakers, I like to root for, the underdogs or, the teams that, has the young players I like. I'll as long as the Minnesota Timberwolves aren't playing the Lakers, I'll root for them. If I'm watching one of their games, that's the team I want to win. Just because I think that they have a very interesting team. They're talented. Feel the same way about the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, stuff like that. I really like these young teams in the NBA right now. I think there's a lot of really good young teams that can really make some noise. And that's kind of like what I usually do if I'm not rooting for Lakers. Or to whatever team I have money on, because being living in Vegas, being able to bet sports, that's usually my second favorite team. I hated Big Three Celtics more than any other team. Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, like that. Yeah, and I was so happy when we beat them in 2010, and yeah, I was furious when we lost in 2008. Um, my second is Toronto, but I'm a Lakers fan. No, absolutely. I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with having other teams that you root for and like. I mean, you know, we all have that team we kind of favor and enjoy when they're playing stuff like that. Funny he doesn't hate Philly as AI prevented the sweep. Feels different from talking Halloween and Scream. Very true. Very true. Yeah. No. It. I mean, I always loved AI. Like, I wish he would have bought in more to like the role player role. His career probably would have lasted longer. And I am one of those people of the opinion that like if if he like if he was like 6'6", he might have been the best player ever. He was just so good. Don't get me wrong. Am I upset that the Lakers didn't get the sweep? Absolutely. But you got to give AI credit. I mean, that dude did something else. But it is a lot different than the Halloween and Scream talk, huh? Right? It's a different atmosphere. It's different type of thing. But also, this is kind of like a laid back stream as opposed to like my regular streams, like on Fate Decided, or even like usually the streams here. I'm usually at my computer, sitting behind the green screen and stuff. For this, I was just watching the game and was like, why don't I just go live and talk with people about it? But I appreciate you. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Do you think the Celtics team underachieved? Um, the big three Celtics team with Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce. Absolutely, absolutely. They won one championship with that team in like what was it, 4 or 5 years? That should have. I mean, they made it to two finals, but no, they should have at least won another championship. At least. I mean, they weren't like in the heart of their prime, but they were still all young enough to be really good still. And like that Orlando season, the Celtics should have beaten Orlando. Orlando just got hot at the right time. Um, stuff like that. Like I do think they underachieved. But that goes into my argument with Doc Rivers. It's one of the reasons why I don't think Doc Rivers is that great of a coach. Like, what has he accomplished without a team that didn't need him? Like, literally, that Celtics team did not need a coach. That Celtics team could have won without him. I could have coached that Celtics team and probably won one championship. Like, that's how good that Celtics team was. And then, like, beyond that, it's like, outside of that, it's like second round exits and getting 3-1 losses. Like, that's all it is over and over again. Like, I don't know. I don't think he's as prolific of a coach as many people think they are. People would call us bandwagon. I mean, it depends on what you're rooting for, but like, there's a big difference. Like, to me, like, being a bandwagon fan are like those people you see. Like, one year they're Laker fans, the next year they're Warriors fans, the next, like, bandwagon fan is like, this team is the championship winner, so they're my favorite team. Like, what? Like, that's stupid. But like, you could be a fan of a team for a time being. Like, I really like the Grizzlies team. I really like the Pelicans team. I really like the Wolves team. So like, I'm a fan of those teams. Like, they're not like my go-to team. They're not a team that like I like, that I want to win over the Lakers, but like, I like their team. At least currently constructed. 5 years from now, I might not like any other players or like anyone that's on that team. you know? Always glad to show support. Without the collective and y'all individual channels, I wouldn't have even tried YouTube. So you'll always have my support. Well, thank you. Seriously. It is. It's very humbling. It is. We try. We love the community. We love everything. Like, like I've said, it's a blessed position. This channel, Fake Decided, the Lethal Collective, all of it. It's great to be in a position to build community, to have conversations, to be able to just talk about stuff. to inspire other people. Like, I've told countless people, like every time somebody like start a channel, like it is like I think everybody should have a channel. I really do. I think everybody should have a channel. Um, I don't have a second favorite NBA team. It's Lakers, and that's it. I'm with you. I'm with you, SM. I mean, like I said, I don't really have like it's not like a second favorite team. It's just I love the history of basketball. So the Celtics are a huge part of that. I love certain players, and they're on other teams, and it's like okay, like if I'm not rooting for the Lakers, okay, I'll root for them. Like I said, but usually it's whatever team I got money on. Whatever team I got money on, that's the team that that I'm usually rooting for. Um, us Philly fans have it worse as we get better. A lot of people don't realize us Philly fans are diehard and passionate. Philly has some of the most like diehard fans there are. No, like Philly has some like they are. That's one thing that they definitely have are like loyal diehard fans. Like if James Harden can be James Harden that we know, I really wouldn't. I wouldn't be shocked if the Sixers are in the finals or even win the finals. Because James Harden and Joel Embiid, that's a pretty good duo. And they have a really nice team. But, it's one of those things. We'll see. We'll see what kind of James Harden you get. I love YouTube. I've been grinding. Yeah, I do too. I love it too. It's a great way to connect. It's therapeutic in a lot of ways. It's a great way to escape, meet new people, have conversations, all that stuff. Like, it is. It's cool. But it is a grind, man. It really is. It is a long, hard, just grind. But stick to it. I'm telling you, stick with it, and it'll pay off. It'll pay off eventually. Um, Luka is my favorite player, though. Luka's great. Like I love, like that dude is. Every time I watch that guy impresses me more and more. It's crazy. It's crazy. When we were losing, we even booed Santa. You're not wrong, yeah. Like I said, they're passionate. They really are. They're very passionate, and I can't take anything. They do. They have one of the best fan bases there are in sports. Like Philly's really big on their teams, and their and just their support and stuff. I was surprised Harden took a pay cut. I was a little bit too. I mean, it made sense. He's at this point he needs to get a championship, right? I mean, like that's his only knock. Right now, he's arguably the greatest player ever to never win a championship. So that's the man. These Raiders are running it down these dudes' throats. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand why he did it. I just didn't think he would. But hey, not everybody makes it on YouTube. Absolutely, more people than not. Like when I first started YouTube, I was like reading up on statistics and just trying to find out because I'm a numbers guy. I like to numbers and see like what are the odds, what's this, that, and the other. And one of the things I was looking at was like 90% of channels like fall off after like the first like 6 months because it's such a long grind and you're doing it for so long over and over and over again. Every day you're making videos, every day, or once a week or whatever. And then, especially when you're not monetized, it's hard, because it's like you're putting in all this work, you're putting all this time, all this effort and stuff, and you're not getting anything out of it. But I've gotten 6 or 7 channels monetized now, whether they're my channels or they're somebody else's channels. I've gotten them all monetized, and the one formula that I have found is consistency. If you can post every day, post every day. If you can go live every day, go live every day. Those kind of things. Like it's one of those things. Like consistency is key when it comes to it. Let's just hope Philly builds around Harden and Embiid. I imagine they will. Like I said, I think they have a really good team. Maxey is going to be a stud. I think he's going to be a real key guy this year. Hopefully he doesn't hit that wall, that second and third year players hit. But if he can be that other solid guy, he's going deep. Ooh, no flag, huh? Wow. But yeah, I think that they have a pretty good shot. Just depends on which Harden are you getting and which and can Embiid stay healthy. Ghostface Fanatic, what is going on? Appreciate you popping into this stream. Great to see you, man. Thank you. I just seen you live. Well, thank you. Thank you. I really do. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just handing out. I was handing out watching the game. So I was like, why not go live while I'm watching the game? Wanted to take a little break from the day. Got a lot growing on. So I just was like, let me, you know, stream and talk to some people. Have some fun, right? I think the Raiders will win. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like it. I just want Jacksonville to make this. Oh, go, 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 go. Oh, come on. Oh, he ran it back. Maybe this will be a game. Oh, flag. Don't tell me that call. Don't let that get called back. Oh, come on. Come on. What a way to end the quarter. Come on. That would have actually maybe made this a game. You bum. Come on. That was a great play. What a bum. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, is that the Raiders, yeah, I mean, it looks like they're gonna walk to a victory in this game. It would have been nice to see it just be. I wanted it to just be a game. Just make it a game. It doesn't have to be anything great, but just make it a game. Let me put this on silent. I just wanted them, just make it a game. Like, give us something fun to watch. This has been kind of snooze fest. Um, Sixers should try to get Pat Bev. Pat Bev wouldn't be a bad pickup. It's just like, what are you going to give up? What are you going to trade? But I mean, it isn't bad at all. I've been on YouTube for a year at 430 subs. I've been consistent, but no results. I want to get monetized. I'll check out your channel when I get a little time, Mr. 81, and try to see if there's anything I can see that maybe helps you a little bit. Like I said, I'm not an expert in that. Believe me, I'm not. But I'm still learning and navigating. But like I said, I've gotten like 6 or 7 channels monetized, so I at least know how to get there. It's just how to like blow up. That's what I'm still trying to figure out. Um, I'm guessing that your favorite team is the Raiders. Ghostface Fanatic. It's actually not. I mean, I grew up in LA, and like everyone's either a Raider fan or like a diehard, or not. You either hate the Raiders or love the Raiders. Never really had. Really never had like a preference either way. Um, but like, I mean, living in Las Vegas, yeah, I'd like to see the Raiders do something. But I've never had a favorite football team. Uh, just solely on the reason that like I grew up in a household with 9 people, and every single person had a different team. Like my stepdad was like an Oiler fan, which is now like the Tennessee Titans. Like my mom was like a Broncos fan. My brother was a Chargers fan. My uncle that lived with us was a diehard Green Bay Packer fan from like Wisconsin. Like we had a family friend that lived with us for like a good chunk of my life. She was a diehard Viking fan. Like so it's just like I grew up in a household where like Sundays were war, and like it was just fun to sit back and like watch. So like I fell in love with the game of football rather than like falling in love with like a specific team. And so yeah, but I mean, living in Las Vegas, I wouldn't mind. It'd be nice. I'm definitely gonna try to catch some Raider games this year, and like maybe do some live streams and stuff at the games, stuff like that. I think it'd be fun. I hope Trevor Lawrence plays better this year. His first year was rough. But like to be fair, he doesn't have any of it. Like he doesn't have a good line. He doesn't have any like clutch receivers. Like he doesn't have much around him to really help him succeed. But I do. He don't get me wrong. He had a lot of problems. He had a lot of issues this season, and just he had a rough go. Um, Ooh, yeah, helmet to helmet. There's been a lot of helmet to helmets this game. What do you think about Richard Sherman? I think he's a great NFL player. I've always liked Richard Sherman. I always have. I mean, he can kind of get a little egotistical at times, and he can kind of be a little annoying at times. But overall, I like him. I think he's a great player. I think he's a guy that he's a Hall of Famer. I've always enjoyed him. I have. I think he's a great football player. He's getting older though. He's getting up there. Ooh, come on. Ooh, but yeah. Um, my favorite team is the Bears. I wish they would go to the Super Bowl again. I'll be honest, they suck. Yeah, I mean, they've had opportunities to be good. Like it's just I don't know. Like it's just like a combination of several things. I feel like, um, I don't. I've never really minded the Bears. It's just yeah, they're one of those like storied franchises that just they just been in a tough spot for a while, and they've had some moments. They've had some things that like could really get them together. As a Rams fan, I don't like Richard. I can understand that. In that case, SM, yeah, definitely, I can understand that. Um, yeah, so I had the Rams win the Super Bowl last year, but I took it late. I didn't take like usually I'll make like a preseason future bet on who I'm gonna think is gonna win the Super Bowl. Um, I didn't do that last year because I wasn't really sure. But I wanted to take the Rams. I told a buddy of mine to take the Rams, and he got it at like a really good. He got it at like 15-1, 20-1, something like that. Um, but I waited a little bit, just because I was like it's kind of tough. I wanted to take the Bills last year, which I'm glad I didn't because overtime. But yeah, I this year but but the Rams, I ended up taking the Rams, um, like after the first round. I was like, all right, they're gonna win the Super Bowl. So yeah, and ended up getting it right. Um, Lakers will get Kyrie next week. I think so. I really do. I think it's a matter of when, not if. Like I said, after this, I have a video done and scheduled. I just scheduled it after this live stream. I was gonna schedule it. It was gonna post already, but I was like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm watching the game a little bit. Let me do a live stream, and then we'll post that video. So that video will be up soon, and then I'm gonna get a Kyrie video up on the Lakers channel. Just because like this video that's gonna be on this channel is more like just here's the information and update on Kyrie and KD. Where the other one I kind of want to talk specifically about Kyrie. Um, it was crazy how the Bills lost the Bills. It was, and now that they changed the rule, which I think is good. I'm glad they did because I mean seriously, like a game shouldn't be decided on a coin flip. That game was a great game. That game was so much fun to watch. Like, why wouldn't you let both teams kind of hash it out? Like, I just think like it should just be simple. Like, you know, you have overtime, at least for the playoffs. You have overtime. You play. If a team scores a touchdown and the other team doesn't, then that's it. Game's over. If a team kicks a field goal and the other team kicks a field goal and you spend an extra 40 minutes of just teams just getting field goals, then so be it. Like let the teams decide the game, not a coin flip. Like that's my big thing. Where do you get most of your information from? What sites? It's usually not like one specific site. It's usually like I'll wake up like the night before, because I usually schedule my videos, most of them, like for all my channels. I usually schedule them the night before, so that way like I have videos ready to go in case there's not any new information. I usually schedule them a fair amount apart. So if I need to get a video in the middle or after or whatever, I can always move it a different way, whatever. That's usually what I do. But as far as like gathering information, I usually will do it from. I get distracted. I usually do it. I usually get it from like various sources, like Bleacher Report, Yahoo. Like I have notifications turned on for like certain players and teams and stuff on like everything. So it's just kind of whatever I find. But like usually, like I'll spend like an hour and like research stuff and just look into stuff and things like that on like what I like topics or things that I want to talk about, news on the NFL, news on basketball, whatever. So it's usually not from like one site or one app or one source. It's usually just like I'll for example, let's say Kyrie. I'll go on Bleach Report, see what new news is on Kyrie. Like I'll filter it by Kyrie, see what all reports. Then I'll filter it by the Nets, see what reports are about the Nets, and then I'll like Google, Kyrie Irving, and then just see what comes out. look up reports. I'll look up like postings, Twitter, stuff like that. So it's a little bit of everywhere, and I just kind of will take different things from those things. Um, do you like Hoops Hype? Yeah, Hoops Hype is cool. Like I've gotten information from there before. Like I'll read stuff from there before. Um, look at these guys suck. Terrible bums. Um, but yeah, yeah, like I said, it's a little bit everywhere. Hoops Hype. I used to actually use Hoops Hype a lot years ago because like I've always like what I do on this channel. Like I've always done. I just didn't do it in YouTube form. Like now I do it on YouTube form, which is cool. But because it's nice to have other people to talk about. Like I even talked about on one of my live streams how like my girl is probably is so thankful that like I have a YouTube channel now because now I can talk to like all of you about sports, like do live streams like this instead of like sitting making her sit down and watch it with me and be like, oh look at that, like she's just like okay, like I don't care, so it is a nice escape for her, I guess. But do you think refs cheat for a team at all in the NFL? Not. I don't think refs cheat anymore. Period. Just because it's like what's the incentive? What's the point now? And the whistle's kind of been blown on all that thing. I do think that there are some. I don't want to really call it cheating, but just like refs have players that they might prefer, or they have a call that they prefer. And every time they see that, just out of instinct, they blow the whistle. You know what I mean? Like, you'll see certain, like, refs. Like, great example is, like, was Tony Dungy or whatever. Like, when he's, Donaghy, whenever he's, like, reffing, like, Chris Paul is, like, 0-20 or whatever. And it's just like it's clear he just doesn't like Chris Paul. Like I think that's what it is. I don't think it's necessarily like pure cheating. I don't think it's like, oh, today I want the Lakers to win, or today I want the Raiders to win. Like I don't think it's like that. I think it's just like I really like Derek Carr, so if somebody even touches Derek Carr, I'm going to it's more biased. Is probably the best way to put it. Like I think refs have biases to an extent. But what made you decide to have a YouTube channel? So my first channel, which is Fate Decided, which actually most of the people in this chat right now know me from originally. That channel I started just because I was like, I want to start a YouTube channel. It wasn't anything like specific. Like it wasn't like I want like let me do this. It was just like to summarize. So I had a job, and then I ended up having like something happen where I ended up needing to leave the job, and I didn't want to leave the job. And then I was going to go back to the job, but I was like, it was just, they wanted me to travel and stuff like that. And I just wasn't in a position to do that. And so I was like, let me try to start a business myself. And it wasn't YouTube. It was like a marketing investment thing. I was doing that. I still do that. And that was going well. And because I had free time at the time, I was like, why don't I start a YouTube channel? And I didn't start like an investing or marketing channel. I started what was like creepy stories, like, storytelling basically. And I was like, oh, like, because I'm really fascinated by that stuff. I don't really believe in a lot of it, but I'm very fascinated by it. I think it's very entertaining and very fascinating. So I started doing that. That ended up evolving into like a horror movie channel, which it is to this day. And I just kind of had success with that. And then the sports channel, this channel as it stands, I originally started like 4 years ago or something like that. And it wasn't, I was, two of my friends were like, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel. And like, why don't you do it with us? And I was like, cool. And that's how this channel started. This was actually technically So actually, I messed some of that story up. Technically, this was the first channel I ever made because they wanted me to do that before. But I was thinking about starting YouTube, and that's where like the Fate Decided channel came from. Because I started this channel, we started doing this, and we were just doing like current events and like just talking about stuff in the world. And it was the three of us. So then I started Fate Decided. And then Fate Decided started taking off. They ended up not wanting to do the grind and the work on this channel. So this channel kind of just went flat. Then I had another friend that wanted to kind of step in and do it with me too. So I was like, okay, that didn't work out. Had another friend that wanted to do it. That didn't work out. So then I was like, I'm just going to talk about sports on this channel. And about like a year and some change ago, I made like a sports video just randomly, and I was just gonna post randomly. Fate Decided, my other channel, started taking off, so this channel I just completely left alone and forgot about. And then one day somebody was like, "You should talk sports," and I was like, "Oh, that's funny. I have a sports channel. I just never post on it." So I was like, "If you guys go subscribe, I'll post on it." I had like a handful of people go and subscribe, and I was like, "Cool." So I posted on it, and one of my videos as of a month and a half ago or 2 months ago now, just took off. It just got like 136,000 views, and I was like, okay, maybe I should put some effort into this channel. And last month, this channel just took off, and I went from 250 subscribers to what am I at, like 4,300 now, in a month. So it was circumstances. It was just there was a lot of things that kind of went into it, but. Anyway, sorry, that was kind of a long-winded answer, but now you guys know basically the history of my YouTube journey. Forgot this was happening. What's going on, Lake Show Broco? Appreciate you being here. What is up? What is up? Yeah, we've just been watching the game, kind of just talking, answering questions, having fun. Appreciate you popping in. Do you think, or who do you think is the GOAT? Michael Jordan, LeBron, or Kobe? Who do you feel is GOAT? Because I love Michael Jordan. He was on my favorite team, the Bulls, but people have different opinions. Personally, if you're talking from just a player standpoint, and I've had a lot of people ask me this, and I got to do like a live stream or something just focused on this, because it's just a lot to unpack. But to summarize, if you're talking about like a player that is the best player ever, like remove accolades, remove everything, just like what does he give you as a player? LeBron James is the greatest player ever. All the other arguments, all that other stuff is just personal opinions, right? Championships, like people put so much into championships, but championships are a team accolade. Like Michael Jordan didn't win anything until Scottie Pippen came. He was either not making the playoffs or was getting swept in the first round every year until Scottie Pippen came. No player has ever won a championship by themselves. So that's an accolade. Timing, things like that. I mean, if you look at just like from just a pure player standpoint, LeBron James is a 6'9", just giant, freak athlete, monstrous player. He's like if you took Michael Jordan and made him 6'9" and added like 50 pounds. Like that is LeBron. I mean, he's a bigger, faster, stronger Magic Johnson. Like if you're talking about a guy that can do everything, pass the ball, because we're not talking about just scoring and just winning championships and everything. If you're talking about best player ever, like LeBron is going to be the all-time leading scorer probably at the end of this season, and he's not even a scorer naturally. He's going to be top 10 in assists, top 10 in rebounds, top 10 in blocks, steals. Like the guy's achieved every single statistical category you could do. Like the only argument people have is like he didn't win championships. Like but LeBron also, like people also don't take into account like the road and teams in which these players had to go through. Again, championships are team accolades. I don't think championships shouldn't be part of the discussion at all, but I don't think they should be as heavily used as they are in today's league. That's kind of my opinion. That's like the short answer, even though it's kind of a long answer. But Yeah, it's kind of a shorter answer because I could rant about that for an hour. Marshall Faulk said the Patriots cheated when they beat the Rams in 02. He said they taped their walkthrough. I mean, hey, I mean the Patriots, they're that team that they're not afraid to cheat. Let's put it like that. I mean, here's the thing: when you have so many like accusations and points showing that you're a cheater, at some point you're a cheater. You know what I mean? It's like, like I can understand maybe one instance, and it's kind of like something that's kind of iffy, and you're like, that like, that was just strange, but maybe it's nothing. But like when you're talking like 5, 6, 10, Tom Brady got suspended over cheating, like stuff like that, then it kind of, it's one of those things that kind of I think changes a lot of that perspective. Where do you have Bill Russell ranked all time? Personally, I have him somewhere in the 8 to 11 range. I think he is hands down an all-time great. I think all of the arguments that people make for the greatest of all time, Bill Russell is that times 10, right? I mean, he's won more championships than anybody. He has, a better win rate than anybody. The point average. I mean, he has everything you need. But, like, I look at, like, circumstances, time. Like, I still think Bill Russell, as great as he is, he would still be great in today's NBA. You know what I mean? I do think he's an all-time great. But I do think, I just think that they're, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Not in any particular order, just names that are coming to my head. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Guys like that, I think I'd put ahead of them easy, just off the top of my head. I think you can make an argument for guys like Shaq, just the dominant force. Even guys like Kobe and stuff, but I'll put it like this: he's definitely in my top 10. Bill Russell's definitely in my top 10. Bill Russell's number 5 all time. I mean, yeah, I don't knock anybody for that argument. He has all the accolades. He has everything. Everything that people use for the argument for, greatest of all time, Bill Russell has all of it. So I can't argue that. I don't blame anybody putting him top 5 all time. I can't. People feel that Kobe copied Michael Jordan, but I don't really know if he did or not. Don't know what to believe nowadays. I mean, he definitely copied Michael Jordan. I mean, Kobe has said that in the past, that he modeled his game. He was obsessed with Jordan, all that stuff. He got, pep talks and sat down and spoke to Jordan and learned everything. But Kobe was more skilled than Jordan. Jordan just had a lot of natural gifts, the athleticism, things like that, his drive. Kobe was the closest thing we've ever had to Jordan as far as a prototypical, that type of player. LeBron's just a completely different player. In all fairness, though, I don't really think you could say who's the greatest of all time, because position, I can understand people saying the greatest position player. If you want to say Michael Jordan is the greatest shooting guard ever, no arguments. If you want to say LeBron is the greatest small forward ever, no arguments. If you want to say, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest center ever, no arguments. Stuff like that. To say the greatest player ever, who is the greatest, you got to take into account era. You got to take into account, players that were in the league at that time. Back in the 70s, the players were nowhere near as skilled as today. There are guys literally that you've probably never heard of that are sitting on the bench right now that would probably be superstars in the league back in the 70s just because they're so skilled. Everyone nowadays is a freak athlete, stuff like that. I just think that there's so much that you have to break down, and a lot of it just comes down to personal opinion rather than facts. But yeah, Tyler better smarten up, or I'll put this wrench to use. The all-powerful wrench. The mighty wrench. People say that Nick Saban is a cheater because He takes all the good players, and people say they cheat every year. I mean, well, there's been talks about him like buying players and like giving players incentives. Like, oh, you don't have your gas. I have somebody that'll go pay your gas bill right now. I have somebody like here's some this random businessman decided to invest $100,000 into you. Like, but most organizations do it. It's how it is. It's been going on forever. Uh, the first white people to granny shot the ball into the basket would have thrived in today's NBA. Facts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if you go back and watch the tapes from like, the like ABA years into the '70s, stuff like that, like it was just a different game. I mean, you had, I mean, the pace, like these guys, like they dribbled, like my 5-year-old could dribble, stuff like that. Like the star players were, yeah, they were star players. They were great, but like, there were a lot of guys in the league. Like, I mean, you're talking in the set, like back in Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain's days, there were guys starting at center that were like, 6'6". Like it was a different time. Um, ooh, there's some new footage of Kyrie playing somewhere today. I believe John Twitter. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I have a video scheduled to post after this live stream. Yeah, it's scheduled to post at 9 o'clock about like the Kevin Durant stuff. Like even when I was on the Lakers channel stream earlier, um, everyone was talking about the Kyrie post. Yeah, that was it from the Brooklyn Nets. Like, so it's just so I basically dove into everything and then found all the stuff and then put it together in a video. And then I want to make a video on the Laker channel just about the Kyrie stuff because I think that stuff is pretty interesting. So I have a video coming on this channel at 9 that's kind of like Kevin Durant and Kyrie and just everything that's going on. And then I want to get a Kyrie video itself up. So that video I still got to record and stuff. So that video will probably be posted a little later. I'm thinking about making Anthony Edwards videos. Will Edwards be an all-star? So I really like Anthony Edwards. I do. I like him a lot. And I really think he has potential to be like a top 5 guy, maybe. I just don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I could see him being an all-star, especially if the Timberwolves are like a playoff team and they're solid and they're really good. I could see him getting votes, especially the Hustle movie. I think that's going to help him a lot because now a lot more people that maybe didn't know who Anthony Edwards is, they now know who he is, and people really liked him in that movie. So I think that helps. I definitely think he could be an all-star this year. It's like all national sports decided at the same time to rule shift for more scoring and less defense to get the most out of the primetime hours. Yeah. It's just there's always a general narrative, and it's usually the same. I think Nick Saban is the greatest coach of all time. As far as college football goes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's proven it. The greatest coach of all time is Kyrie Irving. Just ask Steve Nash. MJ 1, LeBron 2, Kareem 3, Wilt 4, Russell 5. I can understand that. I can. So where do you have Magic Johnson, Speedy? Where do you have Magic Johnson? I just think Michael Jordan was the best dunker for sure. I mean, he was a freak athlete in so many ways. He really was. He was great run, good run. Yeah, he definitely he Air Jordan. He walked on air. Phil Jackson is the greatest coach of all time. I think so. As far as like NBA standards, yeah, I think Phil Jackson. I mean, you can make an argument he's the greatest coach ever in any sport. But yeah, he's definitely in my opinion, at least the NBA, the greatest ever. If we're going to go to do greatest athletes of all time, do GOATs like Wayne Gretzky or LeBron even crack the top 10 for only being great at one sport? See, that's another good question. Like guys like Bo Jackson, like if you're talking athletes, like what is that? Although like guys like Allen Iverson and LeBron James, like though they didn't play professionals, they only played one professional sport. Like LeBron was like a top 3 NFL prospect at one point too. And Allen Iverson was like an All-American or whatever in football. Um, the fact that Nick Saban has won 7 national championships, that should tell you that he is the greatest coach. They call him coach that never punts. Yeah, I mean he is. He's great. The problem is that like one he might. I don't know if he's the greatest coach ever or the greatest recruiter ever. You know, because he's just always been able to recruit great talent over the years. You know, and it's like, you know, some of those teams that he's won with, they were just ridiculously stacked. Um, doesn't Nick Saban run a program that was known for throwing money at players to get them to his program when that's against the rules, and is one of the people complaining about primetime doing it? That was my point that I was talking about earlier. Maybe you weren't here, Blicka, but I was saying, like, you know, Nick Saban, he's that guy that's like, oh, you need your gas? Your gas is going to get shut off. Don't worry about it. We'll pay your gas. Oh, hey, this random businessman that you've never heard of is willing to give you $100,000. Like, you know, it's just kind of what it is. Don't eat the hot dogs at Home Depot, bro. having a rough one today, huh? Is that what's going on, Lake Show Proco? Being a Notre Dame fan, kind of jealous that my favorite college team can't be that good. Hey, I mean, they have a real shot this year. They really do. They have probably one of the most talented teams they've had in a long time. Seriously. Can they put it together? We'll see. Magic is number 8 on your list. Huh. Kobe's the number 1 on my top in the world. I'm a Kobe fan. Hey, Mr. 81, right? So I could understand that. We'll average 50 points, 25 rebounds in a season. That is insane to me, no matter the compare. Yeah. I mean, it is insane, and that is one of those stats that will likely never, ever happen again. There are stats in this in that have records. I mean, that have been achieved that'll likely never happen ever again, and that is one of them. Nick was also in the NFL. He coached the Miami Dolphins. Yes, very true, very true. He didn't have the same success, but yeah. Nick Saban is pretty much the coach that always complains about Blue Mountain State without name dropping him, I'm pretty sure. Right, that's who he's referencing in all those episodes. Do you think AI could have played in the NFL? I do. I mean, based on the stuff we have seen, as far as like his talents and stuff from like his high school days stuff, and like he was ranked. He was like nationally ranked and all of that. I do. I think he could have. I really do. AI is the same size as Tyreek Hill, right? I believe so. Or they got to be pretty close. Because what AI is 6? What, he was 6'1", 6'2". Tyreek might actually be a little smaller. But yeah, AI was like an incredible athlete in high school. I named my channel name after Kobe when he scored 81 points. Yeah, that was amazing. Seriously, that was an absolute amazing feat. Yeah, I mean, how can you not love that? I love that commercial where he's like, where it's with Jalen Rose, and he's like, with Kobe, and he's like, it's Kobe and all that stuff, and he's like, yeah, we could be cool, right? He's like, yeah, no ill will, nothing like that. And the guy's like, how many olives do you want? And he's like, 81. Like, I love that. It was great. He's like, I'm just joking. I like that. I just thought that commercial was great. I thought Kobe was great in it. AI was apparently a ranked basketball player, football player, and baseball player. I didn't know about baseball. I knew he was in basketball and football. I didn't know about baseball. That was crazy that Patrick Mahomes blew his chance to be in the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I mean, hey, it's one of those things. You win some, you lose some. I still think Patrick Mahomes is an incredible quarterback and an absolute incredible talent. Seriously. Patrick Mahomes gets passes for his failures because he has the added pressure of a terrible wife and younger brother. Dude, they have done everything they can to destroy that man's career. It's just, oh my God, man. Seriously, it blows my mind. That commercial was great, for real. Yeah, it is. I love that commercial. That commercial is like one of my favorites. Like, it was just great. Kobe was so great in it. Like, you know, because like I mean, we've all seen those commercials with some of those, you know, athletes, and they're just awful. You know, and they're just like, oh, this is terrible. But like, he was great in it. He was great. Uh, 21 and 3. Oh, can they punch a touchdown in? Oh, he caught it. I thought he just picked it off. Too little, too late. Unfortunately, there's only 3 minutes left. This was I wanted this to be a nice. I wanted this to be a nice closeout. Uh, will we get an all-time top 10 NBA list review? Yeah, I have to do. I have to like put it together in a video, give my like breakdown and analysis and all that stuff. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do have like all the conversations. You know, top 10 all time. Uh, you know, who's the GOAT? We'll have all those conversations and debates and stuff. I definitely got to put those together. Nick Saban is the type that would pay your Aflac insurance. Yeah, he is. He is. That was a good one. The Nike puppets commercial were great too with Kobe and LeBron. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, those were great. Those were another great commercials. I feel like hockey is the only sport with a decent All-Star Hall of Famer event. Even though I can't stand watching sport normally, but really enjoy playing it. I've never actually played. Oh, they got the 2 point conversion. Oh snap! Too bad you're down 14 with 3 minutes left. Um, but yeah, I mean, hockey. See, my problem is I don't know enough about hockey to really talk about it, like to comment on it. But like, because like the only hockey I like watching playoff hockey. I think playoff hockey is great, but outside of playoff hockey, it's just like it's boring to me. Like it's just like watching paint dry at times. Um, but yeah, I mean, I know like some of their stars have been really good. Like it's just like I said, I don't know the ins and outs enough. Uh, fun fact that phone's gonna die. Fun fact that Murray guy on the Nuggets is from my city in high school. Really, in high school, really, I did not know that. Jamal Murray, huh? Jamal Murray, nice, nice. Oh, Cliff Branch. Um, oh, I'm older than him, but he went to the same high. Oh no, I'm older than him, but he went to the same high school as me. That's actually that's pretty cool. That's something to like. Yeah. What's your favorite brand of outfit? Do you get into Nikes, Under Armour, or do you get any brands at all? So Nike's always been my favorite. Like I used to be like a crazy like shoehead. Like I was like part of like the Cali Fit, the hype beasts. Growing up, it was like Jordans and Nike SB Dunks. You rock the like hoodie or like Stussy or like the hundreds and stuff like that. Like I was that guy growing up. Got like a ridiculous shoe collection at one point. All that stuff. Um, but yeah, Nike's still like my go-to just because it's how I live. Now I don't care as much anymore. Like I have like it's just whatever I like now. Like if I see something, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I just buy it now. Where before it was like, oh, that's cool, but it doesn't have like the brands that you wear. Um, the cheerleaders look good. Which other sport do you watch? Oh, which other sports do you watch other than basketball and football? Regularly, I really love darts. No, I'm sure. I was messing with you. I just had to. I should have came up with a more obscure sport. Like I really like. What is the ice one with brooms? That should have been the one. But no, um, outside of basketball and football, like sports that I watch regularly, not very many. Like I'll watch like a baseball game randomly here and there. Um, like I said, I'll watch hockey playoffs. Um, but outside of that, like I've never been like a NASCAR guy. Like I can't stand NASCAR. Um, yeah, like I said, regular hockey, like regular season hockey, doesn't do too much for me. So I'd say like I watch baseball. Like I said, I don't have like encyclopedia of knowledge on baseball as I do like basketball, especially in football. Um, but like I'll watch baseball. I'll watch a little bit of everything. Um, our high school was only known for pumping out soccer players. It's crazy to see we had some talent outside of that. Yeah, especially if it's just like You get a soccer game. You get a soccer game. When I get really high, I watch darts and pool, but not because I enjoy it, but because something interesting in my stoner brain happens to be on. So I actually watched one time at one of the jobs I was at. I watched what is it, cornhole? You know, I watched like a cornhole tournament, and I'm not gonna lie, it was actually really entertaining. It was I was only gonna watch like the last 10 minutes of it of like the one game that was going on, and I ended up watching like 3 hours of it at work one day. And it was really entertaining. I wish you played for the Lakers. I wish I played for the Lakers too. I'm with you. I guess it's called billiards or something, but I call it pool. Yeah, it is called billiards. Bowling. Yeah, right. Uh, Rafael Nadal is the greatest tennis player of all time. Facts. Bowling, actually funny sometimes, dude. Like, I love watching their plays and reactions. I think it's great. Like, some of those guys put some sass at the end of their strikes or whatever they call it. Yeah, when they're just like they have the little like it's funny. Um, do you watch the World Cup and Olympics? Yeah, so like I'll watch like the big events. Like the World Cup absolutely, especially like my girl. Like we'll watch like because she's originally from Mexico, stuff like that, so she loves Mexico. I watch, we'll sit and watch soccer stuff like that. But like yeah, I'm not a like a diehard soccer watcher. And we only watch like the big shows, the big displays, stuff like that. Um, Skip is a troll on the Undisputed show. He hates it. Dude, I can't watch Skip Bayless anymore. Like it's the same old like he's not even saying anything. It's just like this just repeated hate over and over again. Like I said, he's not even talking about it. Are amazing sports to watch. Yeah, I can't say that first word, Blecka, but yeah. Um, my phone is about to die. Um, what do you think about the WNBA? If so, who are you impressed with? Who do you like? I'm not like big on the WNBA. Like I'll watch from time to time. I actually like betting on the WNBA in certain spots because you can actually get some like real value moments. But I'm not like big on it. Like Candace Parker, like I know like the usual suspects, like Candace Parker stuff like that. But I'm gonna have to go, unfortunately, because my phone is about to die. So I'm gonna have to skate out of here, and because I don't want to like end up closing out on you guys by accident. So thank you all so much for watching this stream. Seriously, if any of you aren't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. But other than that, I do. I appreciate you. I got. Yeah, I don't have my. I was gonna throw it on my charger, but I don't. My charger's over there, and like this phone's gonna die any second. So I appreciate you. Thank you all for hanging out. I mean, the game's over anyway, so I was gonna end the stream as soon as the game was over. But again, thank you all so very much. See you all in the next one.